2010 is right around the corner, and as is tradition, at least for the past couple of New Year's Eves, I've put myself out there to raise donations for the chat room at live.pirillo.com. This year it'll be for geekshed.net. That's where the chat can be found in pound Chris or hash Chris, you know, the little number sign Chris. That's the chat room. It's a part of the live video feed at live.pirillo.com. Essentially what's going to happen, if you hadn't seen videos from years past, I will do whatever you pay me to do. Within reason, I have the ability to say yay or nay. You could say donate money to have me do my best to sing a song, or dance, or say something, or do a shout out, or anything you can possibly think of. Of course, I may ask you to donate a little more depending on what the request happens to be. This is a Subservient Chris, as we've called it, which is kind of paying our respects to the Subservient Chicken campaign that Burger King launched a couple years ago. And as a matter of fact, I think the Subservient Chicken is still online, so it's kind of in that vein. This year, however, we're doing something slightly different. And so to explain exactly what's going to happen with that and why, I've got Kat, who is just one of the most wonderful people that I've had the pleasure of working with throughout the years, who's going to explain what's happening. Kat?
Hey, okay, let's hope I can get through this okay, you guys. There's been a kid that was a member of Chris's community since back before he really had a community. His name was Corey Carrier, and I first met Corey online nearly 7 years ago. Corey and I shared a very special bond. He called me his internet mom, and I called him my kid. Corey is the kind of person that could make you laugh no matter how low you felt. I can't even describe what he was like. You can go to rememberingcorey.com, actually, if you'd like to find a little more about our friend Corey. Corey lived his entire life with muscular dystrophy. He was in a wheelchair. He was on a respirator much of the time, but having muscular dystrophy was not who he was. He didn't let it stop him. He didn't let it define him. He lived his life, period. We lost Corey on October 1st of this year due to complications from the H1N1 virus. Excuse me. All of us in the Locker Gnome family and on Geek Shed miss Corey more than I can explain. And we wanted to do something a little special to remember him and to honor him. And so when we were getting ready to discuss Subservient Chris this year, it was just a no-brainer. It was unanimous. Chris was definitely on board. So this year, 75% of all the money raised is going to the Tucson, Arizona chapter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association in Corey's name. And I can't tell you, Chris, how much we appreciate this and how much it means to Corey's mom, especially. So thank you.
No, it's no problem. And I think it's fair to, I always got a kick out of it just because I saw the humor in his handle, Kat.
Right.
What was his handle?
His nickname on IRC was Gimpy, and his Twitter nickname was @Kripple, KRIPPL. Like I said, that's how the kid was. He was 21 years old, and he was crazy. He would threaten to run people over with his wheelchair. I got to tell a really quick story. I know you're going to love this, Chris. His mom and I had a phone conversation the other day, and it was the first time, actually. And she told me that one of Corey's favorite jokes all through high school, he had a button on his wheelchair that he could push, and it would emit this really loud, high-pitched beep. Anytime he had a substitute teacher, Corey would push this button and then slump over and make the teacher go into a panic, thinking his respirator had quit.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was nuts, but he was so full of life and just embraced life.
So
it was amazing.
Yeah, we're lucky enough, and not a lot of people would have known this by now, but I happened to catch a tweet from the Muscular Dystrophy Association, their official Twitter account, and they had posted a link to what we're going to be doing on New Year's Eve to raise money specifically for the Tucson, Arizona chapter. Now, the times again?
We will begin broadcasting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on New Year's Eve. We're scheduled to go 3 hours, but yeah, you know Chris. If things are going well, he'll keep going, I'm sure.
I
know
do
how
more.
it is.
And we also will be joined by someone who you know from the Lego videos. Ime Shu is going to be joining us. She's also known for Hips for Hire. That's who she is on Twitter, and then hipsforhire.com. She essentially is someone who has an internet presence who represents artists specifically in relation to nonprofit or charitable events. And so she is a trained belly dancer. She's also trained in Bollywood dancing, and she said that she'd be, willing to do a little dancing somewhere here in this home office on New Year's Eve too. Donations willing. I will probably get paid to join her, unfortunately, and people have paid a lot of money to see that happen. So certainly, yes, if you're not doing... Go ahead, Kat.
I'm sorry, I just had to throw in here, I'm sure Ime's already heard the stories. The first year, Chris said if we hit a certain threshold in donations, that he would end the night in a dress. Oh yeah, look at him shaking his head. He ended up in a dress, high heels, a wig, and makeup. So guys, get those donations ready. $10 minimum to make your request. If we get enough money, maybe we'll get him back in a dress this year.
How about a belly dance costume?
No belly dance costume.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know, but I'll be getting my PayPal ready to go.
Great. I'll have to set a minimum amount for that one. That's going to take a lot to see me, because they live for... In fact, and we have someone, Kevin, I believe, is going to be helping us with recording the YouTube videos so that we, saving everything that happens for posterity.
Yes.
I believe.
Uncle John has historically always recorded for us. He's been having some issues with his software and his setup. So he's going to be on hand, but Kevin is also going to be there to help out. So between the two of them, we'll get it all recorded.
So yeah, don't worry about it if you happen to miss it or you've got other plans for New Year's Eve. And of course, anybody's always welcome to clip anything that they might see on live.pirillo.com as it happens to stream through. I always go through and favorite those videos when I see them. Sometimes, however, I may have to flag them because of making sure that the community is tracked properly, so don't worry about that. I pretty much say if it happens there, you can take it and put it anywhere. And New Year's Eve, you should all have your screen recorders ready. And you can do screen recording for free. We've done screen casts on free screencaster software in the past. No matter, my email address, chris@pirillo.com, the blog, chris.pirillo.com, the community, geeks.pirillo.com, and of course the chat room, typically talking tech. Kat, I guess, do you want to finish the video again?
I do, but I have one last thing to say ahead of time that we did forget.
Oh.
If you go to live.pirillo.com, scroll down just below the video frame, and the chat box, you will see where you can enter your donation and your request for Chris. So even if you can't join us New Year's Eve, you can still donate ahead of time and make a request, and I promise you I'll make him do it. With that said, I guess we're out, so see you later.